dating coach and relationship expert Jennifer Hurvitz, and welcome to Doing Relationships Right. Raw, authentic, and insightful, this podcast is a no bullshit look at all things dating and relationships. The good, the not so good, and the what the hell was that? No worries, I've got you, and we'll figure it all out together without taking ourselves too seriously here on Doing Relationships Right. Here you are at midlife. Your boobs have entered a new zip code. You have jeans older than your daughter's new fiance. And now you're single again. But is that cause for a crisis? Hell no. It's time to pick yourself up, buttercup. Whether you're freshly unhitched, just dipping your toesies back into the dating pool, or ready to dive into a new relationship, my new book, Midlife Priceless, a dating coach's guide to finally doing relationships right, has you covered with new dating and relationship advice tailored to meet you wherever you are in your relationship journey. Join me, Jennifer Hurvitz, author of best-selling books, One Happy Divorce and Woulda, Coulda, Shoulda, as I share BS-free tips and laugh out loud personal anecdotes to help set you on the path toward finally doing dating and relationships right. Grab your copy of my new book, Midlife Priceless, at jenniferhurvitz.com. That's jenniferhurvitz.com. Good morning. Good morning. This is Doing Relationships Right. I'm Jennifer Hurvitz. I'm your host every single Tuesday. Well, not every single Tuesday. Some Tuesdays, some Thursdays, some I don't even know. Whenever. This is a Just Jen episode. I like Just Jen episodes. They're fun. They're short. They're sweet. I get a lot of content in because I'm talking by myself. And I think you guys like them too. I've noticed, I started listening to my episodes and I've noticed that I say a lot of ums. And does that make sense? And what do you think? And I was about to say again and I stopped. But here's the thing. When I'm talking by myself, I feel like I have to fill the space because it seems weird to me. So I'm like, and it's so annoying. So I'm going to try not to say That's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to try not to say I'm going to be conscious of my ums. So I'm going to jump right in today because I also read an article on Podchaser saying that listeners like it when podcasters get right to the point. They don't want to be messed around with. They don't want to be led on. They don't want to have games and stupid shit. They want to go right to it. So today's podcast episode is about relationships and signs that your new relationship is not built to last. Okay. So I'm not talking about you've been married for 7 years and all of a sudden shit starts going bad, or you've been dating this guy for 10 months. I'm talking about like you go on a couple dates, you have that pit in your stomach that something isn't right. You're walking on eggshells. You're not communicating, feel bad. Sometimes relationships don't work out, and that's okay. Okay. What's essential is that you recognize the signs early on and you prepare yourself and you move on quickly. I don't want any of y'all hanging around when these signs are seen. Okay. So these red flags I'm going to give you, I think there's like 8 of them. Hang with me here. But if you see these red flags early on in a relationship, like with, first, second, third, fourth date, move on. Because if you're looking for a long-term relationship, it's going to be, first of all, you should say it. You should say it out loud at the beginning. You should say, look, here's what I'm looking for. This is what I want. It's not needy. It's not quote unquote crazy anymore. You can even write it in your bio. You know what? And you can like check off the box looking for a long-term relationship. That way there's no messing around. There's no fucking around. There's no wasting your time or energy. If you see these signs, just be aware of them and don't waste your time. You're not going to change someone's idea of what they want, especially in the first couple months of dating. Okay. You're not going to be that one person that comes in and is like, oh, I'm changing my mind about everything because you're it for me. And I didn't want a relationship at all, but now I found you and sparks flew and the world changed and fairy dust happened and poof, now no, that's not going to happen. Okay. Number 1, if things are like a one-way street, okay, if you text, they will reply. If you call, they will answer or call back. If you don't make the first move, forget it. You're looking for a one-way. This is like a one-way relationship. If you're getting it like consistent back and forth, that's what you want. If you're the only one engaging, is that the right word? Engaging. I can't talk today. That's a red flag. If they're not making the first move via text, via conversation, over the phone, they're not calling first, they don't want to make plans, they're not reaching out to you to make plans, or they're not planning anything, that's a huge red flag, y'all. You don't want to be in a relationship with someone that you're always having to make the first move, okay? Effort equals interest. I say this all the time, and then I get pushback. People are like, well, what if they're really busy? What if they have a full-time job? What if they have a life? Yeah, so do I. And I get it. But if I want to be with someone, if I want to be with someone, like actually be with someone, I show up. I make time. I move around my schedule. If I like someone and I really like them, come on, y'all. When you like someone, you freaking make the time for them. Don't give me your bullshit. Okay. I'm putting my foot down. I'm holding to it, that one. I'm sticking to it. Number 2, too busy. This is where this one comes in. Too busy. I'm just going to give it to you straight. If they're uninterested, or if they are too busy, quote unquote, in the beginning stages of a relationship, too busy equals not into you. Any way you slice it, I'm sorry. I know people are like, oh my God, she's wrong. Jennifer, you're wrong. I think you're being too hard on this person. They're really busy. They're a doctor. They're a lawyer. They're an attorney. They're a full-time mom. Bullshit. Too busy equals not interested. In the beginning stages of a relationship, if you are talking to someone via text and you've been talking for 4 weeks and you haven't met them in real life, what are you doing? Move on. Okay. Move on. I tell my clients, if you don't meet within the first week of texting, they're not interested. They want a situationship. They're looking for sex. They're looking for bullshit. No, move on. I'm saving you time here. Okay. Don't be mad at me. Number 3, oil and water. They're perfect on paper. They check all the boxes, but you don't mix in person, quote unquote. You don't mix in person for whatever reason. They rub you the wrong way. You feel like they are annoyed by you. You ever get that feeling like you seem like they're put off, or they're like, they don't really listen to you when you're talking, or they seem like they're looking at their phone, or they'd rather be anywhere than with you? Ick, 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 ick. You get the icks, or vice versa. Can this change after a few dates? I don't think so. I'm going to go with no. You cannot fit a square peg in a round hole. You can't do it. You can bang and bang and bang, but y'all look it. If it's date 3 and you have that like icky, yucky feeling like everything annoys you about this person, or a few things annoy you, or he licks the plate with his fingers, or he's rude to the waiter, that's a huge red flag. But other things like, he asks if you should tip 15% or 20%, or doesn't open the car. Like, ooh, you know what? Get rid of him. It's oil and water. You don't mix. Or if he doesn't let you speak, or if he's always interrupting you, or she's always interrupting you, oil and water. Okay, number 4, moving on. No talk of the future. I'm all for living in the present and dating for now, quote unquote. You know my theory of dating for now. I really think you should live in the moment. Yes. But if you're not even making plans for next weekend, there's a problem. In the early stages of dating, okay, consistency is key. It's critical. If they don't want to see you and spend time, that's a huge red flag. I'm not talking about what you're going to do for Christmas in 2025. Okay. I'm not talking about what you're doing next New Year's Eve or what you're doing for Flag Day. I'm talking, does this person ask you for plans next weekend? You go on a date, it's date number 3, and he says to you, what are you doing next Tuesday? Or are you up for apple picking next week? Or, I have a thing at the CrossFit gym, margaritas and I don't know, push-ups or something. It's in a couple weeks. Do you want to go? That's what I'm talking about. If you don't talk about anything in your future, like 3 weeks down the road, forget it. Okay. No talk of the future. This is not a relationship that's going anywhere. I'm just giving it to you straight, y'all. Giving it to you straight. Number 5, meeting the friends. Okay. You have yours. They have theirs. But there is no talk of meeting one another's or each other's friends. You don't talk about it. Have you asked them why? Have you said like, why don't you want to meet my friends? Or why don't you talk about your friends? Or am I embarrassed? Like, what is it? Are you embarrassing? Is something you're doing? Like, are you just like, what, you stink? I don't know, something. Assimilation into each other's lives is a considerable step towards longevity in a relationship, period. This is a big one. This is a biggie, biggie, biggie. If there's no talk of like, hey, let's get together with this couple and my friend Lisa really wants to meet you, or I really would love you to meet my blah, blah, blah. There's no talk of it at all. feeling kind of yucky about this relationship, and I think you need to move forward. Look, I'm only trying to save you time and energy. Okay. I don't want you hanging out with someone who doesn't want to be with you and is just like wasting your time and your energy, right? I'm trying to help. So this is a helping podcast episode, I'm not trying to make you mad. Don't be angry at me. You should be happy that I'm helping. Yay. Okay. Number 6. This is a biggie. Biggie. Unhealthy fighting. Couples argue, and that's normal. Okay. But how you fight and resolve conflict is what makes for a lasting relationship. Contempt, stonewalling, defensiveness, criticism are red flags. So early on in a relationship, look for the big red flags. If you're having a little argument and she's like, I don't want to talk about it, puts her hand up and is like, I'm done talking, or walks out of the room, or gets really super defensive, big no-nos, big, huge no-nos. I actually saw, I don't know if you guys watch Bachelor in Paradise. I do. I'm obsessed with Bachelor in Paradise. And if you watch and you know Kat, crazy Kat, like quote unquote crazy Kat, she's like combative. She's nasty. She's mean. She stonewalls everyone. She's a nasty girl. Kat's nasty. She's like Hurricane Kat, they call her. And I'm watching this girl and I'm like, what in the actual fuck? You know, she's young. She's 28 years old, but she has every, like, there's not a nice thing about this girl. And she fights with everyone the same way. She fights with the girls. She fights with the boys. She fights with she's just not nice. She's just aggressive and nasty. So yeah, unhealthy fighting. Yuck. That's a big one. Number 7. This is a biggie. They're all biggies. Okay. But these are important. Lack of emotional connection. Okay. Foundation of a healthy relationship that both partners feel comfortable being genuinely open with each other in sharing thoughts and opinions. Okay. So you feel open sharing your stuff. Now, I'm not saying you have to like overshare. I'm not saying you have to like spill all of your guts or trauma bond or any of that, but just being able to be honest and open and vulnerable, like have a safe space with each other. Okay. It's hard to tell each other things. Okay. But if you're not sharing what's on your mind and you don't feel like you can tell this person something, you're not like not looking for a deeper connection with this person. It's just all like surface shit. If there's a lack of an emotional, chemistry and connection, I don't know, you guys. It's just not, it's not in the cards. It's not in the cards. So if you're noticing all this stuff early on, you want to move on, you want to move forward. If you're not sharing what's on your mind, it might be a sign that you're not looking for a deeper connection. If you feel like, let's say you're talking and she says something and she says, well, how do you feel about this? And you're like, in your like, deepest soul, you're like, I just don't want to tell her. I just don't trust her. Or I feel like I'm not comfortable sharing with her or him. Yeah. No bueno. No bueno. You want to get out of there. Okay. Number 8, trust is gone. Trust is the foundation of a committed relationship. We know this, and lack of it eats away the relationship from the inside. If you feel like you can't trust the person in your corner, it's a roadblock that prevents any meaningful connection. So to regain it, you guys, to regain trust, you got to have focus and meaningful connection. You have to, trust you have to know the root of the problem and what led to the breakdown in the first place. So if you're like 5 dates in, you already don't trust this person, if you already like are wondering like who they're talking to on their phone, if they're constantly like have other plans, but you're not sure with who, those kind of like things early on, I don't know. It should be easy, you guys. The person that you want to be with for the long term or in a long-term relationship with, it should just be easy. You shouldn't not trust them. The trust should be there. I kind of feel strongly that like, I don't know, some people say you have to earn each other's trust. I kind of trust someone until they give me a reason not to. Maybe that's naive. Maybe that's silly, but I don't know. I just remember when I first met Jim, my partner of 8 years, I just trusted him. I did. And he trusted me. And we kind of just like trusted each other until there was a reason not to. And it kind of worked. So that's number 8. Number 9, last but not least, and this is a nice short 14-minute episode. I love it. Not supporting one another, not supporting each other. One of the hardest disconnects to accept in a relationship is when partners want different things and can't or won't support the other person. Okay, so no matter how deeply you care about each other, no matter how hard you want your relationship to work, y'all, if you don't support one another's hopes and dreams, yeah, it ain't going to work. your shit's not going to work. Okay. You have to be supportive. You have to really, truly down deep support each other's goals in life. If you're not making time for each other to be happy as a couple, it's like not going to work. Right. And you have to really, truly support each other, like respect one another into like a at a deep level. And that's really important. Like Jim frickin' supports my podcast. He supports my goals. He supports my dreams. And I hope that he knows that I support everything he does too. And I just think it's really important. It is in a relationship. So with that said, again, if you get anything out of this podcast, anything, just know that I'm rooting for you. I'm cheering you on. I want you to be successful in your relationships. I want you to find a partner who loves you as much as you love them and that gives you emotionally as much as you give to them. Okay. It's a two-way street. Consistency is key. Effort equals interest. All those things that I tell you all the time. If you're not feeling good about your relationship, move on. Okay. Not everybody is for everybody. Huh. Does that make sense? I love you guys. I love you. Thank you for listening today. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for supporting Doing Relationships Right. I'm so glad to be back. A couple things I want to share with you. Don't forget that you can always call me and do an Ask Me Anything sesh. It's $99. It's 30 minutes. You can ask me anything you can cram into that 30-minute session. I love it. It's fun for me. It'll be fun for you. I promise. No commitment. No packages to worry about, just me and you for 30 minutes, $99. You can find that on my website. You can find it on Instagram. And I've got lots of other cool stuff going on too. I've got video packages and just all kinds of good stuff. So yeah. And I'm also taking a couple of new clients for the next season. So reach out if you want to. And that's it. I love you guys. Be good. Do something fun today. And remember, peace, love, and so much truth. Bye, y'all. Hey, thanks for listening to Doing Relationships Right. Don't forget, if you enjoyed the show, subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcast episodes. And please grab my books, One Happy Divorce and Woulda, Coulda, Shoulda on my website, jenniferhurvitz.com. And look out for my new book, all about doing dating right, coming soon. As usual, thanks for listening. See you next week. Peace, love, and truth.